opening the gates to a month of Satanology in 1445. One may wonder why I chose to include Dancing with Gaia by John Reed and Joe Carson, Beyond Lemuria, The Shaver Mystery, and The Secrets of Mount Shasta in my reading. It relates more directly than The Agency, A History of the CIA by Hugh Wilford, The Money Masters, How Banks Create the World's Money, and American Military History from Colonials to Counterinsurgents by General Wesley K. Clark, which is only important on the materialist or secularist platform, in how the Great Satan and Little Satan are the epitomes of the Western system that paves the way for Dajjal, which is more narrowly known as the Antichrist. As we all know, deism and secularism are on the way to true diabolism. Beyond Lemuria and Dances with Gaia and their extras are both films that address magical techniques and systems of development that are inherently amoral and, in the eyes of most faiths, immoral. The entities evoked and invoked are what are generally called devils. Neither is whitewashed, and both are about systems of personal empowerment. Both can be said to be something to connect to the Ranwaitha tradition of the Order of Nine Angles, and groups influenced by them are what they represent springing from, and how that opens up the natural and traditional ways of religion beyond organization and dogma for any place or time. Spirituality is not all clean and positive, but its dangers and efforts are not pointless, nor are they for mere seeking difficulties either. The Psychopolitics of Predation by Tempel of Blood is a pre-Liber 333 text that addresses the weakening and diluting of the Order of Nine Angles proper. But it also defines the path in social and personal developmental terms. False Prophet 2 by Tempel of Blood is the shorter second edition with just Throne Zone, an illustrated guide for the curious, the Tale of Tim, and Heresy. I have seen full issue with the article by A.A.Morain and such going for a few $100s. You will get plenty of instruction in the second edition, and this is the only edition that I have seen of that. Iron Gates by Tempel of Blood shows how systematic desensitization in a post-apocalyptic world produces the harsh alchemical change that presences the real-world effect of those ritualizing the situations. Hostia, Secret Teachings of the O.N.A. by Anton Long is a book that teaches the methods and examples of the Order of Nine Angles. but gets one towards a fluidity in belief and practice beyond organization. Scithain by A.A.Morain was an awaited acquisition for me, but the fact that it appears like it might clearly exceed most works on vampirism and such orders in a context beyond prosaic myths makes it well worthwhile. The idea of the practices is towards developing what paves the way for those who will come to have victory over the mundane system. Sword of Undeath is one I read in pamphlet form. I mean, there were individual pages stapled together. Maybe that's not the right term for that, but I will give another set of interpretations of this vampiric book about getting past trauma and becoming ready to be an agent of the final harvest. Drums of Tophet, Agony's Point Press, Journal Volume 1, Issue 1, questions the mainstream media and the change away from the old order. We can be honest with ourselves about our own darkness and reopen the vistas beyond the current order. The Gjallarhorn, Journal of Germanic Esotericism, Volume 1, Issue 1, gets beyond the fluff of neo-pagan, our self-proclaimed heathen types, to a programming of power that influenced far and wide. Now, I don't know, it could be Gjallarhorn, Shadows over Germania, the dark Odinic cult of the Draugr by Hunter Herzog further reminds me of the Daros and Druga of the Shaver Mysteries and the sort of less open way that I heard about from some of those less law-abiding, less sane individuals connected to the local Norse spirituality center in a city that I lived in. What the Europeans worshipped before Christianity seems to be more dimensional than that after. These 12 examples towards a study on Satanism will not be an armchair study and will permeate rituals, being regarded in deeds of both private and public nature. The uneasy warm layer gone through with the sunsets starting the 10th month of the sacred calendar of this international age meets with a steadfast resolve to be a vehicle of change and resistance, which starts with ourselves. And we'll find more about these extra dimensions or more depths later, or perhaps beyond the written word.